Now, if you're joining us from the last movie, we went ahead and went into detail on how we go ahead and combine different elements from the adjustment panel to go ahead and get to the image that we want. Now, if you notice on the right hand side, we do have an adjustments panel that is on part of our workspace. And the only reason why that would be important, let me go ahead and show you. What I'm going to do is going to go ahead and press Control J, and I am going to use the paintbrush or the gradient tool actually, and I'm going to go ahead and select a gradient here. And let's see what gradient. Let's use this one right here. And the reason why I want to do this gradient is because I want to go ahead and show something. If we choose color, as you can see, the image has the colors of the gradient: orange, yellow in the middle, orange on the right hand side. Now, if I go ahead and come with a masking brush and I go ahead and mask out a portion, let's do that right now, black, and let me go ahead and also turn on the opacity to 100% and hardness to 0, so you can really go ahead and see this. Now, the image has a gradient on there and a layer that I have the mask on, and I went ahead and created a hole so you can see the layer underneath. Now, if I go ahead and select here a hue and saturation adjustment layer, I do have it. It comes up here, and the good thing about this is that it's a smart layer, meaning that I can always come back and change it. So I'm going to go ahead and desaturate, and from this desaturation, I'm going to select colorize, and we're going to add a color. Now, even though there's layer underneath, and clearly what's happening in here is that when I added yellow and orange, it raised the luminosity level of the image. And so as a result, because it did that, you can tell where the colors change. But as you can see here, what's going on as well is that the colors themselves, they're changing. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose a hue right here. Although we are affecting all the layers, they're acting in different manners. So very interesting. You can even go ahead and go into adjustment. Let's see here. Let's go back to the adjustment panel. And we'll go ahead and select a new adjustment, and we'll use color balance, and we'll go ahead and add another one. And in this case, this one we will go ahead and mask. So basically what it's doing is affecting all the layers underneath except for those layers that area that's masked out. The reason why you would want to use the adjustment panel versus the one on the toolbar is when you're working on a single layered image, you can go ahead and apply all your layer styles to that image. When you're working multiple layers, you want to go ahead and only target a certain individual layer. You want to do it right on that layer. If you want to affect all the layers, including the ones underneath, you want to go ahead and use the panel where it gives you a smart object. Very interesting. We'll go ahead and go into filters, but let's go ahead and erase all of that we have done. Go back to this image, and we're going to go ahead and go into filters. The very first one that I want to go ahead and touch base on is a very popular one, and a lot of people have asked me about how to properly use it. So it's a very relatively easy program to go ahead and use. So we'll go ahead and go into it, and what I'm doing right now, I'm actually zooming in into the picture, and what I'm going to do right now is select a smaller brush, not that small, good size. And I'm gonna first choose this option, which is the freeze mask tool, and the one underneath it is the thaw mask tool. um, the reason why you want to use this is because anything that you go ahead and highlight will not move. And when you go ahead and use the push forward, um, or it's actually a forward warp tool, um, if you have a low brush density and low brush pressure, when you move, it doesn't create a really big movement. So it's very normal, versus that if in case I had a really big brush intensity and I move in, it creates a really big disturbance on there. So I want to go ahead and use a very low brush density and just come in and just go ahead and shape correctly the way I feel it should look. She was putting a lot of pressure on this arm, so it had that shape on there. So going back into the brush size, you can press the left bracket to go ahead and create the smaller brush, or the right bracket to get a bigger brush. You hold on shift, you can actually increase it by 20. So if you want to go ahead and get a real fast brush size, let's just get one that will go ahead and do the job. And we're pushing the arm in, and there are clearly so many other options, but this is again Photoshop for photographers. So this is what I use for almost everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use that. And I think that I did a real good job shaping the arm there. So we accepted that, and there you go. You got other filters here, and the only ones worth mentioning would be the Gaussian blur. When you want to go ahead and blur out certain aspects of the picture, the more you choose, you can go ahead and see what it's actually affecting there. Then you can go ahead and mask it out. The other one that I think would be worth mentioning would be the high pass, and what that does, it helps you sharpen the image. And the way we're gonna do that is go to high pass and choose like a low high pass, and I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in here so you can see what's going on. It's actually tracing out or doing a highlight of the edges. So if we were to choose soft light, if we go a little bit up here and we see the before and after, it actually does sharpen the image a lot more. So you see some of the edges a little bit more defined. And that's great to do when you want to go ahead and you have a soft blurred image, you want to give it a little bit more detail. Perfect way of doing it. After that, you just wrap it up by pressing Control, Alt, Shift, and E. And you can go ahead and delete that high pass layer. And let's go ahead and take a look at the before and after. And there's the image. And like I said before, we do have a lot of filters, and I will go ahead and do a training for them later on. It may be a live workshop, or I may decide to go ahead and do another online tutorial. But I think that after all this training, we have a strong foundation in Photoshop. You have the tools now, or you know what each tool that you would normally use every day to go ahead and retouch a picture does, and give you some pointers. And so I just want to go ahead and thank you for listening to this training seminar. I appreciate if you went ahead and watched all the movies. I know that a lot of this stuff is very tedious, but you hang in there and you listen to it. And if you went ahead and didn't understand something, you can go back and view it again. But this basically is everything that you need to go ahead and make your images stand out. Stay tuned for more information, for more workshops. But again, thank you so much for viewing or taking the time to viewing my program. Thank you.